It's been 5 years since we last saw Fox McCloud and his brave team of ace pilots. 10 years if you don't include the 3DS remake of Star Fox 64. So this series has a bit to prove considering it skipped the Wii altogether in favor of going to the Wii U.
Hey guys, Drak here, and today we'll be discussing the highly anticipated Star Fox Zero, to see if it flies high like the rest of the series, or did it write a check that Nintendo simply couldn't cash and crashed and burned. Let's find out.
We begin the game with a retelling of the prologue of the Star Fox series, explaining Fox's dad James and how the Star Fox team came to be. Gee, it's almost retelling origin stories has become a regular thing now. Aww. After that, we are then put in charge of Fox in the middle of a crisis. The evil scientist Andross has attacked the city on Corneria, and it's time for Star Fox to come in and save the day. After Corneria, though, we are sent on a series of missions to stop Andross and save the Lilat system from his tyranny. You know, pretty simple stuff. Honestly, I make this sound a lot worse than it is, but it's a fine explanation, and I really didn't mind relearning the past as this game will make some minor tweaks to the story that really help make it a fresh, new experience. So moving on to visuals now, and man, this game is amazing. It looks just how I imagined an HD Star Fox should look with some added perks to boot. Not only do the aircraft like the R-Wing look splendid, especially during the arena battles, but the upgrades that come later for the R-Wing, Landmaster, and even the new Gyro Wing have that extra TLC to make them look that much more awesome. The environments also have a great way of standing out. While some worlds like Corneria have a familiar feel to them, other worlds have an alien, almost isolated feeling. This is especially felt in the Landmaster missions where you're on the ground and the whole planet is coming to get you. All in all, this game comes together visually to be everything the fans have wanted to see Nintendo do with this franchise, and makes you want more first-party titles with this level of polish to them before the NX arrives to change our expectations yet again. So moving into gameplay, I have to admit something. I have a love-hate relationship with this new control scheme. In some cases it's fun because, well, it's what we've done before in a Star Fox game, but then the whole you must use the Wii U gamepad to target nonsense comes in and most of the time ruins the experience for me. I've said it a couple of times on my podcast that I had no desire to use that element if I didn't have to, which at the time didn't seem like a big idea because Nintendo said it was going to be more of a choice than a necessity. Now after playing this, I can say to you that you will have to utilize both types of gameplay, both on your TV and the gamepad to succeed, and to me, that's just too confusing. But wait, Drak, I hear you say, you can just turn off the TV. No, I can't. You see, first-person games are not fun for me, as I get headaches, amongst other problems, about a half an hour into play. So in order for me to play this, I had to use both the TV and the gamepad to get through the levels, which, as you can see in some of the video, really hurt my progress. All in all, this control scheme isn't horrible, but it certainly needed more work and, in my opinion, needed to allow more choice into this framework to let the player play how they wanted to. Now we're on to the audio, and again, we've got a winner here. The voice cast for the game is amazing and really fleshes out the characters they play, even if they don't get as much screen time as others. But as much as I enjoy the cast, the music is where this game shines. And yes, it's mostly remixed from 64 and some from the SNES game, but it all sounds gorgeous, and really saddens me that there isn't a soundtrack available from Nintendo, as I definitely would have bought it. Star Fox Zero, although paying a lot of homage to what came before, did so in all the right ways. So with replay value, Star Fox Zero takes a lot of inspiration from Star Fox 64, in the fact that you can take detours on your way to Venom. Where it varied from it is adding a bit more difficulty to get those branching paths. Now I'll admit, I didn't get any of them, at least that I'm aware of, but I am interested in at least trying to get a few for whatever Easter eggs they have in store. I am a bit disappointed though in the fact that there is no bonus ending for harder difficulty. I don't know if I can explain it, but it just feels like a Star Fox tradition that wasn't honored here. So while there is replay value to Zero, there isn't as much as fans are used to, and that's a bit disappointing. So with presentation, it's a really tough call to make, as some elements are absolutely there, some falter a bit, and some are missing entirely. For fans of the series, you won't be disappointed by Zero, but newcomers, you might find this game more confusing than the ones that came before, and I don't know if I can recommend it for you. Mainly because I'd want to point you in the direction of, say, the remake of 64 on the 3DS before you play this one.
Star Fox Zero is a game for the returning fan to enjoy and get a lot of miles out of. But sadly, I think newcomers would be left in the dust with this entry, which is why I'm giving Star Fox Zero a 7 out of 10. It's a good entry into the series, but not the most solid one. And that's going to do it for my review of Star Fox Zero. If you liked what I had to say on the matter, please feel free to leave a like on this video, or if you didn't like what I had to say, feel free to leave a comment on your opinions of the game. And you can also subscribe to my channel and take a look at all of the other content I produce, like my podcast, Geek News, Reviews, and Opinions, and all the summer plans we have for the podcast. But in the meantime, I am Drak, and I hope to see you soon for the next review.